we're going to run the NETD test, and right now, first thing we need to do is to set up the parameters for the test. So we select from the test list the NETD test. We have, before I continue with the setup, we have a FLIR camera or thermal imager connected. It's connected with an analog input, so our video is analog. So we need to select the analog frame grabber or capture card when we're running the test. So I double click on the test setup. So things that we need to look into when we're setting up the test. We need to set up the temperature, the black body temperature. We need to select the target, which will be a square target or a step target if you don't have. And if we have a source stage, we need to select the proper source, which of course is the black body that has to be positioned behind the target wheel so that it projects from the collimator into the camera. Again, we need to set up the imager, what kind of frame grabber we're going to be using, and then during the test we're going to run, and we need to select the region of interest where we're going to make the measurement, and finally we need to run. NETD is a measurement of noise, so we need to run many frames to be able to calculate the noise component in the system. So after opening up the setup window, we see here the purple variable. This is the output of the noise or NETD. It's in millikelvins, and it's based on what we call the 3D noise model. Here we have the radiation source. Radiation source is already set up to be the black body. In most cases, this is already something that's set up at the factory level. As you can see, it's a read-only variable, just so that you verify that it's the correct source. The radiation target, okay, is already set to square, but if we wanted to change it, we would double click on it, and from the drop down select square. Temperature, okay, we need to run the temperature. Here we set it to 1 degree. It's up to you what temperature you need to run it. Again, we have here the frame grabber, or what kind of video source we're going to be using. This currently it's set to the analog frame grabber. We have a global parameter which is set up for an analog frame grabber. Again, you see that it's a read-only parameter. You can only set it up with the proper user rights. Parameters table, which is external to the setup. Finally, we have 2 regions of interest we need to set up. One in the background and one within the target area or protected area. This is so that we can calculate the differential signal, or the average differential signal, when we're calculating the NETD. And finally, we have the number of frames that needs to be calculated. I would start at least with 100 frames. I'm not sure anything beyond 100, 100 to 200, 150. You can experiment, see if it improves. NETD is some sort of statistical measurement because it's noise. You can probably run many NETDs and average them out to get a typical NETD value for your system. Once you complete it, you should save and exit. Thank you. Okay, now one other thing that we need to set is the criteria, pass, fail, if that's important to you. So on the output value, we would right-click on the parameter, click and select the edit criteria, and we set the range of the NETD. So of course NETD has to be greater than 0, but let's say less than 150 millikelvins. Click OK, and you see the criteria column is filled. Okay, once we've set up the parameters for the NETD test, we can run the test basically. So we select the NETD test, click on the start execution, and we see that the system is setting up the parameters. It's setting the black body to 1 degree. It's selecting step target and the square target, and it has positioned the source stage or the source on the source stage behind the target. Now, before I continue, it's good practice to form a nuke on the system prior to running the NETD test. So that's what I'm going to do right now before I continue. Okay, now it prompts us, before we continue running the test prompts us to set the region of interest, or 2 regions of interest, one in the projected target area and one in the background. Now, as you see, or faintly see, this is the area, the boundary of the collimator's field of view. So you cannot exceed this boundary when selecting or doing any kind of signal processing. Okay, you just click on the OK button and basically let the system run. Okay, it's analyzing. Okay, we get our measurement. NETD sends us the value. Click on the accept button, and the test is complete. After running an NETD, we can see the test summary and then generate a report. Test summary is listed on the bottom section of the CTE main window. We can double click. We see the result, see that it was measured. Of course, we can set a pass-fail criteria that needs to be set in the test setup. We can see the test parameters that we did, and we can see the summary of the test again. We want to create a report. Click on the quick basket, create report, use the quick basket. Again, click on the create report, and here we have an HTML file, again, which can be printed on a printer or saved to PDF. That's it.